We're here at the American Century Championship Golf Club, and we're talking with WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Thanks for joining us, Cathy. How are you doing?
It's great to be out here again.
How are you feeling?
Feeling great, yeah.
How's your game?
Game's getting there, you know. We're a little busy at the WNBA right now, so not getting as much golf in, but yeah, it's great to be here.
Always. Awesome. Now, I remember last year when we talked, the Valkyries were having a pretty decent season for an expansion team. Ended up in the playoffs. We watch this team now, and as we speak, they are in third place in the entire league.
Yes.
What the heck is going on there?
Well, obviously, they've established a great culture. We knew that last year after watching them make the playoffs, first-year expansion team ever to do that in the W's history. And now this year to be in third place with, like, the competition from the Liberty, the Dream, the Aces, the Minnesota Lynx, and a lot of parity in the league this year. So, they picked up some free agents, and in particular Gabby Williams, who was just announced as an all-star starter. That's an incredible pickup, and I think she's such a leader of that team. And Veronica Burton's playing great again, and just all the players on that team and the culture they build, a winning culture.
Yeah. And what do you think of the fact that every home game is sold out?
Yeah, I love going to Chase Center for Valks games and just to sit there and see. And quite frankly, it was last year from the first game on. And to see it continue this year, and it wasn't kind of a one-hit wonder last year, and but we knew that. A lot of people were like, "Yeah, can they sustain it?" And they have. And just again, creating an environment in a real sports media and entertainment environment like they've done at the Chase Center is just really a great thing to watch, a great thing to experience. I have so many friends in the San Francisco area constantly asking me for tickets,
of course, to
go to games, and happy to oblige because the Valkyries are really killing it.
The coach, Natalie Nakase, is small in stature, but she's doing a giant job right now. Obviously, last year.
Right, Coach of the Year last year, in her first year in the W.
And it's almost like she's
as a head coach
coming for it again this year because, again, they're right, as we speak, they're right behind, the Aces and the Lynx.
And the Lynx, yeah.
And so who are you expect to be there? What kind of job has she done to get this team where it's competitive pretty much every night against almost any team in the league?
Right. I think that's the key, is they're competitive every night against every team. And look, the quality of play is so good right now, and you see it day in and day out. And obviously the game is still physical, though we've tried to, moderate some of that this year. And you just see the Valkyries coming out and Coach she's always level-headed, and obviously, as you said, small in stature, but huge about culture and the culture of winning. And I mean, the players, I think, just really are having fun out there, too. And, you look at UCLA, who won the NCAA Women's Championship this year, and you look at them culturally and how much they played together. And I know we drafted 6 of them into the W this year. I kind of look at the Valkyries the same way, as like they just play together as a team. And I think Natalie's got them doing that.
Now, you've been in the job for a while now, a couple of years, 2.5 years or whatever. How long has it been now?
6.5 years.
You've been there 6.5 years?
Much longer than I thought.
Whatever. But as this league has progressed from where it was when you started.
Pandemic year is my first year.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that even count?
Yeah, I don't count that.
Yeah.
Although it was an extremely important year for the league to actually have a season. To literally, if we were out of the sports landscape for 20 months, we might not have the popularity we have today. So having that season was really important. But while we don't like to count it because it was a half a season, 22 games, but we crowned a champion Seattle that year, and we were able to stay in the sports conversation. That's what I think was so important about that year. But yes, that was my first full season.
Oh, my goodness. So to what do you credit the growth of the league? Because you added 2 expansion teams. Going to add 2 more. Three more.
With Toronto.
You're going to add more. Toronto in Portland. You're going to add more, though.
Yep. So 28 we're bringing in Cleveland, 29 Detroit, 2030 Philly.
Yep.
So we'll be at 18 teams. So what that was important to me coming into the league, because when you're only in 12 cities and you have corporate partners and media partners that are looking at big media markets you're not in, like the Bay Area, like the whole country of Canada, we didn't have any teams north of the border. It was important to scale. And one thing I've done in my prior life on businesses is scale businesses. And scaling business helps you from a financial perspective. So I knew getting to bigger scale, and that's why expansion was so important. And then looking at the right markets to expand. In the recent process now, over a year ago, we had 13 cities bid on one spot, and we ended up granting 3 because we saw the popularity and the rise. But look, we've transformed everything from marketing to corporate partnerships to, the good thing was the quality of the game we didn't have to do much to, but everything else on the business side, and teams are doing that with hiring great people. And I always say you can have all the financial capital in the world, but if you don't have the right people running your businesses, you can't grow. And we were able to hire some great people over the last 5 years.
It seems to me preposterous to double the size of a league in such a short span of time. What are you talking about, 5-6 years, whatever it is, you double the size of the league.
Yeah.
The key, obviously, one of the big keys is that you have fans that are lining up and people that are lining up that want to bring the franchise to their city.
Yes.
But beyond that, you've got also a lot of star players that people gravitate toward.
Yes.
And how much would you say this is a star-driven league at this point?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we wanted. We knew in sports, and I hired our first ever chief marketing officer 5 years ago, Phil Cook, who had a long history at Nike, and he kind of walked in. He said, Cathy, in sports, you need 3 things. You need household names, you need rivalry, and you need games of consequence. And that's why people watch. And once people watch, then you get your media deals. And once you get your media deals, you get your corporate sponsorships. And that's how your business takes off. So kind of taking some playbook from kind of transforming from a marketing perspective. Our marketing was all at the league level. It needed to drop down to the player and team level. Because think about the NFL and the NBA. Your loyalties to your team and your players. In the W, when I first came in, the loyalty was to the league because we stood for the power of women in sports. But no. But people follow players and teams. Mm-hmm. You see that out here with the celebrity athletes that are out here. People walking around with Steph Curry jerseys and 49er jerseys just because of where we are in the state and near California right now. So it's like those are lessons to be learned. Like people follow teams, loyalty to teams and players. So we're very much a star player-driven league now, but that was very intentional to drop our marketing down to that level.
When Joe Lacob said, we're going to win a championship within first 5 years, when he said that upon introducing the Valkyries, what was your reaction?
Well, it was the day we announced we were putting our first expansion team in 17 years or whatever it was and putting it in the Bay Area. And Joe apparently said that when he took over the Warriors, and the Warriors went on quite a dynasty run. And so I didn't debate it at all, but I knew in a league of our size and scale, this is going to be tough. You got to attract free agents to the market. They don't know. The fans don't know the team. But I'll tell you, from the first tip-off last year, the first game, when the fans acted like they had been fans of this team for like 30 years, because we're in our 30th season now at the W, I think it has created some of the aura around the Valkyries and the winning culture.
Yeah, when you walk into Chase Center, and they call it Valhalla, when you walk into that building on the Valkyries game, the energy is contagious. And
people want to be there. They want to be with their friends. It's community, and it's contagious, like you just said. And then other people hear about it, and they want to go, and that's how you create demand.
Is that a blueprint that can be applied to other cities, or is this a one-off?
No, I hope it's a blueprint. And we've intentionally, as Portland and Toronto came in this year, they talked to all the teams. Obviously, teams that have been here since the beginning, and certainly the Valks leadership team with Jess Smith, who's been amazing. Talk to all of them. Find out what their blueprint is, as long as it's not proprietary to them.
Right.
Because they all compete very hard on the court. But kind of the off-the-court stuff, meaning the business side, they can share best practices, and we can share best practices with teams. And expansion team is not easy to stand up a team. It's a startup.
Yeah.
And think of all the startups in the Bay Area that start up and fail, and we want startups to be successful, and we want every expansion team to be successful. So the Valks have literally set a blueprint that many others can follow. Even our existing teams that have been around for a while can follow some of the things they've been doing too.
How do you guys in the league office manage the constant, it seems, conversation, debate around Caitlin Clark? Yeah,
well, first of all of our players are subject to all this vitriol and politicized, and I always say we're a microcosm of broader society a little bit, but it's unacceptable what happens when the debate becomes divisive, as our country, quite frankly, is. And so we're trying to solve it using technology for the players. We're trying to solve it with the security, both physical and cyber. We're trying to solve it through mental health resources. Like our players need a lot of support because that vitriol is so unacceptable. And so, we're trying as hard as we can to assist in every way we can. It's a hard thing to solve. Social media and what I've been told are called keyboard warriors, who just type things that, one, aren't true, or they use AI to doctor videos that aren't true, and then it creates this narrative, and then it gets politicized. And so it's totally unacceptable, and we're trying as hard as we can to kind of make sure people understand the good of the league. And the millions, tens of millions of young girls that are going to pick up a ball in Toronto, Portland, in the Bay Area now because we have teams there, and how Caitlin has lifted, the visibility of the league, but how the competition is really good and rivalry's good, but not when it steps over the line and on the non-basketball side. So yeah, these are tough societal issues that we're dealing with in our microcosm that are broader in society, that we need more advocates. We need more voices to speak out on behalf of all of our players, that how great they are on the court and off the court, quite frankly, because they do a lot of work in their communities. And Caitlin's been great, but all the other players, they all have, a passion for this game, but a passion for their community and a passion in inspiring the next generation of not just players, but female and women and girl leaders. So that's how we're just trying to kind of make sure we're focused on the right things. And that, our players feel safe. And that's the hard part, is when they don't feel safe, we've failed. So we've got to keep doing more.
Cathy, we have keyboard warriors watching everything, and they say things with their keyboard that they would never say to people in public.
Or face to face.
Yeah, no, they don't do that. They stand behind there in their mother's basement or somewhere, and they do these things, say these things, and create all kinds of stormy stuff in hopes of generating clicks. And it's crazy to watch, but we all have to deal with it. So
exactly. So again, society, we need to be better as a society.
Okay. Cathy Engelbert, WNBA Commissioner, thanks for your time once again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Great to be here.
All right.
Thank you.